What's going on, guys? Andrew here. Welcome back to another episode of Embroidery Hub. In case you didn't know, Ricoma is headquartered out of beautiful Miami, Florida. That's why today, as a tribute to the 305, I'm going to attempt something never before done on this channel. I'm going to embroider not one, not two, not three, but four Miami-inspired designs onto a flat bill 6-panel structured cap. Not only that, but I'll also be incorporating 3D puff into my design on the front of the cap and mini 3D puff on the back using the 8-in-1 device. But before we dive right in, remember to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel if you like this video or enjoy content like this so you can stay up to date with our latest videos. Now, without further ado, dale. To make this design, we're gonna need a blank cap, 1 sheet of adhesive backing, 3 pieces of 2mm thick 3D puff foam, some clamps, embroidery thread, standard 7511 embroidery needles, our cap hoop, which comes free with all Ricoma embroidery machines, and since we're going to be embroidering the back of our cap, we're also going to be using our 8-in-1 hooping device that you can find on shop.ricoma.com. For this project, I'll be using the MT1501. In addition to being lightning fast and capable of embroidering a wide array of materials, this 15-needle commercial embroidery machine is really ideal for cap embroidery because it offers 270-degree cap rotation. This feature allows you to embroider the front and sides of our cap in a single run, which is going to save a lot of time when embroidering multi-sided designs. Now that we have all of our materials, let's discuss how to create a 4-sided design efficiently using your digitizing software. In this case, Chroma Luxe. You can learn more about Chroma on shop.ricoma.com. The first design will include all of the elements that we're going to embroider on the front and sides of our cap. The design is set up this way so that the machine treats all 3 designs like a single design and will continue to embroider all the sides without stopping. This will save me time hooping and rehooping my cap. What you can do is go up to the toolbar and select a cap hoop from the drop-down menu. When I do that, you'll see that a virtual outline of a rectangle appears on the screen. This rectangle represents the full 270-degree embroidery area of my cap. So first, I'm going to take my main design, the R and the 2 birds, and position them right in the center of my hoop. That will tell the machine to embroider this design on the front of my cap. Now, I'm going to position my Ricoma design and my flamingo here on the sides. The way to know where to place your designs is to measure your cap to determine where you want your designs to land in relation to your main design. And then use your ruler tool in the digitizing software to measure the same distance from the center to the sides. Let's move on to the back of the cap. Since the 8-in-1 device is not included in my Chroma software, I measured the back of my cap ahead of time to know what kind of embroidery area I'm working with and sized my design accordingly. Now I'm just going to select my text, go over to font type, and select circle and apply. Now I've got a nice curved design that I'll be able to embroider on the back of my cap. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be incorporating 3D puff into my main design on the front and my design on the back. If you've never digitized a design with 3D puff before, we have a video where we go into greater depth on how to digitize a 3D puff design. I'll drop a link to that video in the card above and the description below. All right, all our designs are set up. Now let's start embroidering. For the first part of our embroidery, I'm going to be using the standard cap hoop that comes included as part of Ricoma's all-inclusive embroidery package. So first, I'm going to attach my cap hooping station to my machine. Now I'll attach my cap ring to my hooping station. Here at the top of the hoop, you can see a small plate with a line. This is where I am going to line up the front of the cap. So now we're ready to hoop our cap. I'm going to pull out the sweatband from the underside of my cap. Then I'm going to run it up underneath the plate and secure it in place with my band. Now I'm just going to hoop my cap to my machine. Once that's done, select my first design and rotate it 180 degrees to make sure it gets embroidered right side up on our cap. I just have to do one more thing before I can start embroidering. I'm going to go over here to my panel and using these arrows, rotate my cap to the side. We want to make sure that our surface is completely flat. We don't want any puckering. And then use these clamps to make sure it stays flat throughout the embroidery process. All right, one side down, now let's do the other. Okay, that looks good. So let's start embroidering. So now that I've got most of my stitching done, I'm gonna lay 2 pieces of 2mm thick 3D foam on top of my cap and put it in place. 3D puff foam comes in a wide variety of colors. I always try to match the color of my puff with the color of my thread. That way, you won't be as noticeable if your thread doesn't cover the puff all the way. All right, that looks good. Now I'm gonna hit start and continue with my design. I'm just going to tear off my foam. Now I'm just going to use a heat gun to clean up my edges. If you don't have a heat gun, you can also get the same effect using a simple lighter. All right, 3 designs down, 1 to go. To embroider the back of our cap, I'm going to be using our 8-in-1 device. The 8-in-1 device is a collection of 8 frames and 1 master bracket that embroiderers can use to embroider hard-to-hoop items like shirt sleeves, pockets, and of course, the back of caps. We actually have a video where we go into greater detail on our 8-in-1 device, as well as different cap embroidery hoops and the advantages each one offers. I'll put a link to it in the card above and the description below. So first, what I'm going to do is take my sticky backing and apply it to my D-frame facing up.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull my adhesive backing. I'm going to set it on the table and place the D-frame over. I'm going to go ahead and grab the excess and fold it like a paper plane. I'm going to go ahead and place the 8-in-1 device, screw it down.
Now I'm just going to take my master bracket and screw it in place and attach my frame. Then I'm just going to slide it into the back of my cap, just like this, and I'm going to make sure that it goes all the way to the back so that the cap is centered up. All right, that looks good. Then I'm going to go over here to my panel, and since the 8-in-1 D-frame won't appear in my list of preloaded frames, I'm going to select Other and trace out the dimensions of my frame. All right, now I'm just going to flip my design like I did for the front of the cap. And the last thing I'm going to do before I start embroidering is to lay a piece of 2mm 3D puff across the back of my cap and put it in place. Now I'm just going to tear off my foam and use my heat gun one more time to clean up the stray bits of foam. And just like that, we are done. We have officially embroidered 4 designs onto a single cap. Mira pa esto. This is fuego. I am so happy with how this came out. That's it for today. If you're looking for some more inspiration for your next embroidery project or to get some more advice on embroidery, then be sure to check us out on Facebook and join our embroidery and custom apparel mastery group. If you haven't done so already, make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for informative and entertaining content. Also, be sure to let us know in the comments if there are any other topics you'd like to see in a future episode of Embroidery Hub. I'll see you next time.